Greetings, Blood Bowlers, and welcome back to the first episode of All or Nothing in 2025. And yes, I'm well aware, or we are well aware, that it's the first episode and we're halfway through February. I would like to say that we're incredibly sorry for the lack of episodes, but we're probably not.
No.
Probably not. You know, it were Christmas. January is always a bit crap. So, you know, we're not sorry, but we're back, and we're going to try and do fortnightly episodes. So, you know, just be fucking happy, please. Like, you know, don't stop being so fucking needy. Stop being so fucking needy, please. You'll have one episode every fortnight, and you'll be bloody pleased about it.
Well, New Year's resolution to do one fortnightly, but we should break that, won't we?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. I get 2 fortnights before we're like, oh, God, I can't be fucking bothered.
Do you
today.
reckon it'll be the second or the third episode of the fortnights that will break it?
Oh, he said 2 fortnights.
Second, I reckon we'll do 2. At the third one, we'll be like, fuck that.
Okay. Let's see.
Yeah, a lot's gone on. First of all, it feels really weird to ask us in February. Did everyone have a lovely Christmas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
It was good. It's a distant memory now.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. And people are already counting down to the fucking next one. What a fucking set of idiots.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Yeah.
Yep, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yes, many glad tidings. I hope your gym membership is actually being used. So yeah, enough of that old shit. What's been going on in the Blood Bowl world? So the last time that we did an episode and we spoke, we were not far off of the back of Full Beard Cup. I think we were a month or so after Full Beard Cup.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously we did a review episode. We had Ash and Tom on
We did two.
before
Did we do 2?
Yeah.
We did one directly after Full Beard Cup where we had Ash and Tom on, and then us three did another one not long before Christmas, kind of like close out the year, ready to have like an 8-week break where we weren't really fucking bothered about doing an episode. So what's been going on in the world of Blood Bowl? What have we been up to? What news is there?
Well, before we start saying all of the things, because there's loads of them, isn't there? What do you think, out of the three of us, what's the biggest thing that's happened in the Blood Bowl world for you personally since we last had a pod?
In the Blood Bowl world?
Yeah.
For us personally,
Yeah.
I won a game.
Yeah!
I have completed the Blood Bowl, and this is my last episode.
Fucking yes! Yes!
There was one thing left to do, and I know it's a bit of a spoiler, and we will get onto it, but there was one thing left for you to do, but you've also ticked that off as well. So you have actually completed the Blood Bowl.
I have indeed.
You're retiring.
Yes, that's it. It's been nice. It's been a great journey. No, I'm not retiring. No, I've just literally, it just made it worse. It made the taste for it better. Like, you know, I want more.
I don't know. I can't even think what biggest thing for me has been, to be honest with you.
No? I think for me,
not really.
was doing the first event as a TO. I think since between now and this pod, I think that's the biggest thing. That was such an eye-opener. But yeah, we'll get onto that. But yeah, that was my big thing. The reason I asked was because I was just wondering if anybody would say Malta was the biggest thing. Because that is the biggest thing in the Blood Bowl world.
I mean, you said personally, like, you know.
Yeah, but would that be the biggest thing for you?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I thought you were speaking more to like personal results or achievements or anything, but yeah, biggest thing Blood Bowl wise is definitely Malta winning the World Cup bid, beating were it Dallas, Dijon, and somewhere in New Zealand. Yeah. The New Zealand bid was super quiet. I'm not even sure if they officially submitted a bid in the end. It went really quiet.
Don't know. How do we feel about the Malta winning?
Absolutely thrilled. It's not America.
It's really difficult, isn't it, for Americans, because they must be looking, going, "It's not a fucking World Cup." But now you know how we all feel with the baseball World Series. You wankers.
Yep.
Excuse my French.
Yep.
I didn't mean that.
No, it's right. The team that wins the Super Bowl are called world champions.
Yeah.
Well, you're not really fucking world champions of a sport only you fucking play, are you?
How long do you reckon it'll be? So it's every 4 years. How long do you reckon it'll be before America almost has to get one? Because
Then the next one after Malta has to be.
it'd be a bit rude.
It's got to be.
Yeah. But somebody made a really good point. Although it's the biggest, as in the biggest out of country, biggest set of players, most competitions, all of that sort of thing, UK is very, very close second. And you combine that with any country, most of the bigger countries in Europe, and Europe's just so much bigger a player.
I mean, UK and Spain immediately.
Yeah, I was going to say
UK and Spain more than America.
Miles more, yeah.
Miles more.
So again, I can understand why the Americans would be a little bit miffed, and there's all the politics and all of the shenanigans there.
Well, I think that's why they've got more cause to be upset, because it's nothing to do with the bid.
No,
the bid was absolutely fine. Although I'm thankful it's in Malta because it's going to be a little bit cheaper for me to get to. In advance, when it, for a lot of the time, it kind of looked like Dallas was the front runner. It's got Steve from Both Down podcast backing it, who's a really well-respected member at Blood Bowl community. It had a lot of traction, and I already got the green light from my missus for us to time a family holiday to Texas.
That was going to be my next question, whether you'd go to Dallas or not. If it was,
to be fair, I mentioned it in conversation, and I said, "Oh, these are the places that are in contention," and my missus just went, "Oh, if it's in Dallas, we've got to go." I was like, "All right, okay." So I were going to go anyway. So the only benefit
she's a keeper.
The only difference for me from it being Dallas to Malta is that Malta's just going to be cheaper. I think that's why Americans have got quite a bit of cause to be upset. Is, as I say, the bid were great. Nothing wrong with the bid. There are just a couple of compounding factors that have probably led to them not getting it. Steve, I don't know if you're aware how active you are in Blood Bowl Community Facebook group, but there was... it's got to be the most commented on post in all of the Blood Bowl Community Facebook group history when a member of the LGBTQ plus, is that a mall? Is there another one?
Depends what country you're in. I know.
I genuinely don't mean that disrespectful. The last time I remember it was that plus.
Yeah.
But a member of that specific community.
I can't keep up. I freely admit that I am not educated anywhere.
I haven't got a clue. In the nicest way.
I think LGBTQ plus is about right. That's where I'm at.
Because LGBTQ means LGBTQ and then the pluses and everybody else of right. So we'll settle with that. A member of that community put a post in the Blood Bowl Community Facebook page saying that they were really fearful about Dallas winning the bid. They asked a lot of understandable questions about how safe Dallas would be for people of that community.
Fair enough.
And I think I think it's half a dozen of the other or whatever. What's that fucking saying? Six whatever, half a dozen.
Yeah.
That's the saying. Because I do probably think that America, and specifically a state like Texas, maybe to the wider world in terms of the what's put out about them is exaggerated. They've got a bit of a bad reputation that probably, I'm fairly confident, probably isn't true.
Yeah.
But I think the noise that post created, did it have something like 5,000 comments in the end?
Wow.
I don't know.
It was something crazy.
Yeah, my take on it is that the Blood Bowl community is an amazing, understandable, and accepting community. Mm-hmm. And I genuinely think if Dallas would have won the bid, I think there'd have been very, very isolated, if none, issues whatsoever. Because a lot of the time when people go to these events, they're in the venue, they're travelling to and from the venue, they're socialising together. It's one of those things where sometimes some people aren't tolerant, and it's okay to disagree sometimes. there are going to be people just give those bigots a bit of a wide berth and try your best to stay with the Blood Bowl community.
Yeah,
Not that say that you should.
And
but
I get what you're saying, that if you don't want to put yourself in a scenario where people might use slurs or treat you differently, that is definitely something you can kind of cast to the side and focus on what you want out of the trip. But you got to realize people were specifically asking about their physical safety. People were worried about, I know I'm not saying anybody said they were worried of getting shot, but, anyone who lives in a country that isn't America, the interpretation is that everything involves guns, which is wrong. I'm not saying I agree with this. I've been to America many times and never even seen a gun if it weren't on a police officer. But, that's the sort of like wider image for the rest of the world. And I think it's fair to say that we think that about America, but if somebody said to you, all right, okay, so you think all Americans have guns, which state do you think has the most guns? The majority of us are going to say Texas. So I think it were very...
two together doesn't always make 17,
No, it doesn't. But where somebody's concerned for the physical safety, you can understand.
I'm concerned why if I visit Yorkshire. Being a Lancashire lad.
Yeah, you're not allowed. Wrong side at Pennines, I'm afraid, mate.
I know we're talking about this, and it is a really, really, really serious topic. But genuinely, I think the Dallas bid would have been fine, and I don't know if that affected it so much in the fact that I think just the voting is more European based, and the playing is more focused on Europe.
And that's fair. But I don't know if the popularity of that post and the amount of people that it was pretty even, that you had American natives rightfully wanting to protect the reputation of either their home state or their home nation, saying, no, it's not like that, don't believe everything you see in the media. But then equally, we had, I'm not going to name him, but there's a gentleman who's in Nomads who's from America who told us about all the terrible, who is gay, he's homosexual, he's married to a man, and he was telling us the stories that some of the treatment that him and his husband had in Texas. So, there's got to be a little bit of truth in it. So people... And that, they're gonna anchor onto the bad things that they hear as opposed to the good things.
Yeah.
And I think the amount of people who were commenting saying that they wouldn't attend if it were in Texas, I don't know if that would have maybe changed a few important people's minds. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be. But another thing that I think has compounded that is I think that Trump being elected has caused massive damage to that.
That's more of a factor.
Oh, yeah, definitely more so than that one post in Blood Bowl community. But I personally think that post did contribute. But the nail in the coffin is Trump getting elected. Whether you think that's right or wrong, whatever you think of Trump and his policies, we're not going to get into that because this is not a politics podcast. But it's 100% affected the success of the...
To a certain extent, yeah.
Yeah, to a degree. Which then, for me, New Zealand, never on the cards. Never on the cards. Too far away from all of the biggest Blood Bowl countries. It's far away from America. It's far away from Europe. Just not feasible. Let's bin New Zealand.
I think Australia would get it before New Zealand did, to be fair.
Correct. So, no disrespect to as New Zealand Blood Bowl brothers or anybody who orchestrated that bid, but let's just put that to one side because it was never for a look in. It then is between Dijon and Malta. Now, for me, Dijon in France is closer, going to be even cheaper to get to. But if I'm making a holiday out of it, I want somewhere warm. Boom, Malta's your win. Done.
So you think
simple as that?
It was it was hot.
Always thinking of the community.
Yeah.
Where are we going to go for the World Cup next? Well, if it's hot and local,
So are we saying then that really Mrs. Baz decided where the World Cup was going to
be? No, I think she were up for anywhere other than New Zealand, if I'm honest with you. Genuinely, I really I think, and even then, there were a little part of me thinking, oh my God, if it's in New Zealand, I can go and visit all the Lord of the Rings shooting sites.
So here, quick question though. Okay, you're going to the World Cup, yeah? Where do you carry your team? in luggage or handhold?
Cool. So I would have instantly said luggage, but you're absolutely right. You've seen those blokes throwing that shit around.
It's not even that. Say you turn up and your bag's missing.
Oh yeah, I'm checking it. I'm fucking checking it. And fuck it. I'm not taking a rucksack with any sandwiches in or anything. I'm taking my team.
You'd have to hand luggage it, wouldn't you? I don't know. Well, if there are
100%.
people that I've never been to an abroad tournament. So if there are people who listen, let us know. Do you hand luggage or do you hold luggage?
One interesting point to make is a gentleman at the Bugman's Belt last week, a fellow nomad, Mirko from Germany, he had a issue at the airport where the magnets under his bases triggered the fucking whatever it is.
In his hold or his hand luggage?
His hand luggage.
I think he carried it on.
Yeah.
And he had to get searched and everything, and they put the old rubber glove on, and bit of KY jelly on, and said, "Right, please touch your toes and cough."
This is how rumours. We are ever so sorry, Mirko. We didn't want to tell anybody that's what happened, but you said you enjoyed it.
Mirko's like, you got it wrong. There was no KY jelly. It was just dry.
Actually, it was spit.
But fair play to him, coming all the way from Germany.
Yep, he flew from, I think it's Leipzig. Leipzig he flew from specifically for Bugman's Belter, and I think even if you might not admit it, I think specifically for nomads.
I think
so I mean, we've spoke about World Cup and we've talked about where it's going to be and what we'd do if we were going, but who's planning on going?
I'd like to go, but it's too far away.
It's too hot. It's too hot. No, I to be honest, I'd actually like to go. I'd like to go.
Yeah, I mean, I am definitely.
So I was a bit concerned in the Nomad chat the other day, Baz, when you said that everyone was getting a bit excited, and you said, "Guys, just calm down. You're all getting a little bit overexcited about it all." And you said, "I'm going to apply to go, and I'm not going to be in a team. I'm going to go as an individual and just get randomly placed with somebody." And I said, "Well, that's a great idea. Nomads. Let's be randomly placed." And you came back and said, "You're not doing that, Gary, because then there's a chance that me and you are going to have to be on the same team." What's that about?
I did say that. I did.
I'll stand by that.
Yeah. I'm doubling down.
So if anybody's got a team that they wouldn't mind an idiot being on, Baz is looking for one.
I mean, I'm not gonna. I'm not going to sign up as an individual. We are going to have nomads teams. The point I was trying to make is that right now, 2 years out from the tournament, not even 2 years, 2.5 years, so much can change. There's absolutely no point at saying, we're going to be this team, let's be nomads, because there's going to be plenty of nomads who do want to go. And if we can get a couple of teams, brilliant. That's fantastic. Mm-hmm. But 2.5 years out, I'm not going to start saying, yes, and you're going to go with this person and this person. Because the reality is, and I hope nobody takes offense to this, but of the dozen or so nomads that said, I am going, I will be surprised if half actually do. So much can change in 2.5 years. People's financial circumstances, their personal circumstances.
I could win a game.
So much can change. Steve could win a game, and we might say, actually, yes, you can be on our team, Steve. We're not going to.
No, you're.
So yeah, everyone was saying that I was being like a party pooper, but I was just like, whoa.
I thought
2.5 years.
You were going to say something else when you said out of the 12 people there, like half of them, I don't even fucking like.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, fuck them. Fucking Biscuit Gas can fuck right
off. We love Biscuit Gas.
I love Biscuit Gas. No.
So yeah, I'm definitely going.
Cool.
Brilliant. I would like to go, just because I don't want to get told off by Baz saying I'm going, and then he says,
Listen, I might even get contracts writ up.
so
You do it all or nothing. All or nothing.
You'll see me. In 3 years, you'll see me on fucking Judge Rinder with a fellow nomad putting a claim in against them because they didn't come to World Cup. You see, what it is, Judge Rinder. He said that he were going to go to Malta and he fucking flaked because his missus won't let him. So I'm after damages to the sum of £5,000.
why are you doing that? It's because, well, I said he was going, and it's embarrassing, isn't it?
I submit the evidence on a podcast back in February 2025. He specifically said, I know he repeatedly said he'd like to go, but there was one occasion when the sentence said, I'm definitely going. And then he backtracked. But I took that as he was going.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So be warned. So I tell you what, we've caught up on the biggest bit of Blood Bowl news since we last did an episode. Gary, do you want to talk about your event that happened? Back in was it the 18th of Jan?
18th of Jan. Both of you said you were going to come, and one of you turned up.
Okay.
Oh, it's fucking hell! It's like Malta all over again.
Oh, shots fired.
So Baz made it all the way down from up there, Ecky Thump North, up in Yorkshire. He tried to claim the furthest travelled, but he did it he came down the night before, didn't he? So it didn't really count.
Rude.
We had 28 people. We had it at Taunton Castle, where the Somerset Museum is. It went down, I think, really, really well. 3 games. It was really the rule set. We tried to make it really stunty friendly. I think we went a bit over the top.
Mate, I'd listen. This is not a criticism at all, but that Snotling team that I came up against first round was insane. Absolutely insane.
Was it?
Like 2-star players and like fucking 12 skills.
Let me have a look. I've got the stand-ins here, so I'll have a look at that in a minute and see whose it was. But yeah,
I know who it was. It was the guy who won Stunty Cup, that Rubble.
No, it wasn't Rubble, was it?
Yeah, he won Stunty Cup, didn't he?
Oh, he did. He did, but he was the 3rd best stunty team because he came 4th.
But the other stunties had already won stuff.
They'd come 2nd and 3rd, which carries more points for the Southwest tournament and for NAF, which it was part of. So yeah, yes.
Well,
so it was really, really stunty friendly. The top 4, I think the first place was it Lizards? I think it was Lizards. So Cy Richardson won. And then we had 3 stunty teams in 2nd, 3rd and 4th.
Wow.
Absolutely kicked ass. Yeah. Yeah, so it was a really, really good tournament. I think we did far too many prizes and giveaways and all of that sort of stuff. We had a swag bag, but we were throwing, so there's a lot to learn. We're going to tone back the rule set a little bit. We're going to do a little bit less spot prizes. But from a venue point of view, I think we're definitely doing it again next January. So Battleman's Bash, January 2026 is on.
I would like to go.
Yeah, you said that this year.
I even bought a ticket. I'm sorry.
I hope you didn't fucking refund him. Did you refund him?
He did. In my defence, I said you don't have to.
It was only the right thing to do. No. We refunded 3 people actually, who in the last week and a half couldn't make it. And we had a reserve list, so if anybody is thinking about doing anything, then reserves. I was really shocked with how much everything chopped and changed in that last week before the tournament. Reserves is an absolute lifesaver.
Yeah, absolutely. So plenty of lessons learnt then, Gary.
Loads of lessons learned. So it was Scrumpers that hosted it. I did the TO in on the day. They all played. All three of them played. And they helped set up and take down and were my crutch because I was learning on the fly. But yeah, I think I did the most out of the four of us. But they absolutely made it happen for me because I couldn't have done it all. So yeah, it was definitely a team effort.
That's because you're weak. That's because you're weak.
I'm a weak Lancashire lad. Yeah, so I've got a TO badge on my NAF profile now.
Nice.
So, yeah, a bronze one for organising one up to, I think it's up to 30 people or 40 people, something like that. And then you get a silver one for above 50 and a gold one for above 100 people.
Very nice.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was good. It was really, really good. Really enjoyed it. Feedback has been great. And I think the only negative feedback that we got was around the over benefits to the stunties with all the megas and all of that access. And then somebody talked about the tables. Some idiot was talking about the tables and
Gary, let's just cut shit for a second and be honest and open. Mate, the tables were 50 foot long. Mate, me and fucking poor old Glow in our final game, two gentlemen of the two gentlemen of the larger persuasion. Mate, we finished that game and both of us had fucking sciatica.
Sorry, was I meant to be a little bit, concerned there?
Yeah, you should be. You should be. It got to a point where me and Glow stood up at Sider's table with his hands in his pockets like, let's just play from here.
Yeah.
But the point is, you worked with what you had, and it were a cracking day regards to that. That's just a minute, one of those nitpicky bits of feedback, but it was beyond your control. You used the tables that you had available to you, so it's unfair to criticise the day based on that. But that was just, I even said to you when I told you that this is me being like super nitpicky. So it's not a massive deal. And I will send you the invoice for the chiropractor that I've started visiting.
Not a problem. Some of their money back.
I was just going to say, do you want me to send my money back to you?
Yeah, it was good. It was really good. And let's not forget about tables and comfort because Bugman's had an absolute fantastic thing going on. I don't know if that's a segue into that, but I think we've done Battlement's Batch. We'll definitely do it again. People liked it, but we'll tone down the stunty bit.
I had a good day.
Yep.
I had a fantastic day meeting new people. Results day weren't bad. I lost to Snotlings, the gentleman who won the Stunty Cup, and then drew against Scrumpers Ed. And we played the exact game that we practiced the night before in the pub. Yep, and we drew. And then in the final round, I got Glowworm, who plenty of listeners will know exactly who Glow is. A fellow Yorkshireman, so the ideal and dream final game before driving 4 hours back up to Yorkshire. Brilliant. Weirdly enough, the most bizarre thing about it is I knew he were from Yorkshire, and he immediately picked up my accent and he said, "So whereabouts in Yorkshire are you from?" And I said, I didn't even say the closest town or city. I said the specific area. He went, "Oh yeah, I know it well." He went, whereabouts? And I said, I said the street I live in. They were like, "I know exactly where that is. I used to go drinking with so-and-so off that street." So then I think we'd rolled kickoff event, and then literally 25 minutes past us just talking about Yorkshire, like, "Oh yeah, this place and that place." So yeah, that were a great game, and drew that as well. So 2 draws and a loss for the day. So
he's a good player, isn't he? He is a good player.
I think the thing with Glow is, I'm not saying he's not a good player, but he plays a lot of goblins, and because he's played that much, he has mastered them. Absolutely mastered them. He doesn't have to fucking reference anything, a roster or fuck all. He knows exactly what every player does, what he needs to roll, and he reels them off. Like, if I tried to pick up a team like Goblins now, I'd have to have a fucking 10 cheat sheets, a YouTube how-to guide and everything, just ready to fucking flick through while I was playing. He was just like, bang, it's this, it's that, da-da-da, all that business. But yeah, it were a well-fought draw. He equalised late on But yeah, it were a cracking game. It was very much one of those games where your opponent makes it for you. And I don't know if Ed listens to the podcast, but I do owe him a little bit of an apology because I'm pretty sure he thought that I were having a terrible time when I was playing my game with him. But we were talking like mid to late afternoon at this point, and I just got hit with this sudden wave of tiredness. Like, it was really bizarre, so bizarre.
Ability to do that to you.
It was so bizarre. Like, it was literally like flicking a switch. I was absolutely fine. Then do you know when you get like too warm and it makes you feel tired? I was just
remember actually you mentioning about how warm you'd got, and I was actually freezing.
Yeah, and I just felt so tired all of a sudden. You were talking to me, and I was just in like a state of daydream and being like, "Oh, sorry, what did you say,
mate?" Did I get you a Red Bull or something?
Yeah, you got me a coffee.
Let's go and get. Oh, yeah, that's it. I remember.
Yeah, and you even very kindly, you said to me, if you want, you can come back to mine and sleep on sofa or its spare bed if you want to drive up at morning if you're too tired. But I soldiered through. And to be fair, by the time it came to driving home, felt fine. It was just like a weird mid-afternoon lull. I genuinely could have fell asleep at the table.
Has that effect on you?
Hypnogaze.
Yeah, that's it. Funny enough, I was one playing fucking vampires though. He must have fucking held a mirror up. But yeah, I had a really, really good day, and the venue were fantastic. I wish I would have had, both me and Sean would have had more time to talk about the venue, and see, obviously, he's the site manager, isn't he, for the Somerset Museum. Yeah. He did break his neck to tell me that he pointed to a window and said, "Oh, that is officially where the Lancashire representative for the War of Roses surrendered and signed the treaty to end the War of the Roses." And I said to him, "Why have you told me that? You've ruined my day. I wish that the War of Roses was still happening and we were still fighting them to this day."
Brilliant.
But no, I had a really good day. I did say to you, Gary, because we'll touch on this in a little bit, because I am running my own event for Nomads in June. And the first thing I did, I got in the car, I'd been in the car about an hour, and I voice noted Gary, and I just said, "Listen, there is absolutely no expectation for you to drive up for my event in June, because this has been fucking awful doing this drive."
I couldn't work out, Steve, whether he was like double bluffing me or, so he's got his event, and I thought, I'm going to have to do it now, and I don't really want to go.
Oh, mate, if you'd have said you weren't coming, I'd 100% said, no, that's absolutely fine. I told you that you didn't have to come to mine just because I came to yours. And I'd immediately turn around and said to people, "Can you believe that cunt's not coming to mine, even though I went to his?" 100%, I would. I'd be like, "This fucker, the drive I did."
You're like a bird, you are. You mean one thing and you say something different.
So I tell you what, before we get onto the old Nomadic Cup, let's have a little bit of we've attended Bugman's Belter as Nomads. Again, we did not get everybody in the group photo, apparently.
Did we not?
No.
No, there were 24 of us in attendance,
yeah, really?
And there's only 19 in picture, so there were fucking 5 or 6 missing from somewhere. With all due respect to the people in case listening, I ain't got a fucking clue who we were missing, but we were missing some. Definitely.
I know a couple. I did hunt. I did hunt for everyone, but what I got was what I got.
That's fine. It were a cracking day. Again, for me, I had no surprise. A rough day results wise, but genuinely a really, really, really good day. Mm-hmm. I think for me, one of the best things was my friend Gav, who's from local around here, his first ever event. He's only ever played in leagues and friendlies. First ever tournament, wins all 3 games and comes 5th.
Yeah.
He's obviously riding a massive high. He's already been messaging me saying, "Oh, when's this event? Like, he's well and truly caught the bug." I have already had to tell him that.
I get too excited. This is Blood Bowl.
I have already said, "Listen, you just fucking hold your horses," because if you are like pretty much every fucker I know, this is lulling you into a false sense of security, and I hope it isn't. And I said this to him. I hope it isn't, and I hope you're going to place in many, many more tournaments. But please, just be prepared for that not to be the case, just in case. Yeah. But he had a cracking time. The obviously we had like an hour and 15, 20-minute drive home afterwards, and he was just saying how much he really enjoyed it. You know, talking me through individual moments in his games, like the proper post-tournament buzz. It was really nice to see, especially since that, like I say, it was his first ever event, and it's now giving him the bug to attend more.
That's brilliant. That's really good.
And he's a top lad. I like him. He can stay.
Gav's a really nice guy. Really nice guy.
Nice
funny as well. Quick.
Yeah. Quick. Oh yeah. His wit was spot on. He caught me sometimes, and I was wetting myself. I loved it. So.
Cool. How did you get on, Steve?
Oh shit! No. I won a game. I won my first game. The first game out, I won. I went with a new team. I went with humans. My biscuit boys. My biscuit boys here that have all painted up. So yeah. I went with those guys.
Let me just interrupt you, Steve. The camera quality isn't great on Riverside, so I just want to say really quick: can you drop your @ for Instagram so people can go and see some high def pictures?
Yeah, we'll do. So I've got to do more stuff. I haven't done enough stuff off the back of it. But yeah, I took a human team and I played the first game. To be fair, I'll be absolutely honest. I didn't win that first game. My opponent's dice won the game for me. He was
part of it.
Elven Union, he was re-rolling dodges and getting one. The first off the kickoff event, he got a player sent off. The second turn, he killed his star player. It was terrible to the point. I was just like, oh my god, this is awful. He was rolling stuff, and I was cringing for him, But still, it was a 3-2 win. Was it 3-2? Yeah, 3-2 win it was. So it was a high-scoring game, and it was good. And then I lost my other 2 games, but the second game was down to the last dice roll. We were drawing against Black Orcs. I forget the guy's name, but he works at Warhammer World. Brilliant opponent. You played him, actually, Gary. You played him at the Fullbeard Cup. Lovely guy, really good. But yeah, so played him down to the last dice roll where he just had to dodge out and he got a score on me. And then the last one was against another Nomad. Oh, damn, what's his name? Norse team. Adam, yes. And to be fair, I got schooled again. Norse are becoming a thorn in my backside. They are. So
you had a rough time against them at Fullbeard.
Really rough time at Fullbeard, and I overestimated. I thought I had something, and I left something open, and that was it. He took me, and that was it. But I had an amazing time. Really enjoyed it. I enjoyed winning. I enjoyed also finding humans. Humans, I think, are my team for this year. I'm not playing anything else. I'm not going to mess with anything else. Every tournament I enter now for the rest of this year, you heard it here first on All or Nothing. This is my only team. I'm not, because I just love the way that they play in every different way.
Is this similar to where he says he's going to go to something and not turn 100%. Up? Like his next event's going to be a different team?
No. So I've got a few teams now to play with, but humans, I really enjoyed the way they play. They're just a little bit.
I love humans.
They're a little bit tougher. They can take a little bit more, and they've got a bit of dynamics. They're a bit more dynamic. They can get around on certain things. I did miss their pace though. The pace of the woodies I had. It was one of a couple of times I was like, oh, be it. I know I can't. Because you just haven't got the movement on them. But apart from
the only thing you need to remember there, Steve, is that the only reason that movement or the pace or whatever you will miss it is because with wood elves and fastings you can literally, I know it sounds obvious, but you can do stuff quicker. Yeah. Like in one turn, you can get to where you want to be. All you need to do is if you're playing with, because let's face it, they've not got ridiculously less movement than woodies. I think most of the players are only 1 or on some occasions 2, excluding the big guys. All you've got to do is just work 1 extra turn in advance. So instead of thinking I can do all this in 1 turn like you can with woodies, just the turn prior, think I need to make some movement towards that way. Mm-hmm. So that next turn I can be... And I get it's not always easy to be able to think that far in advance, but if you have that mentality of thinking, right, I need to give myself an extra turn to what I need to do compared to what I can do with woodies,
give myself
and thinker it... Exactly, thinker it that way. And that's how I have done it, moving from woodies to, slower teams and stuff. But yeah, I think you've definitely humans are always a great team for anybody who's not entirely sure how or where they want to play.
Yeah.
When it comes to Blood Bowl, because we say it all the time, but the jack of all trades, master of none, you can have a pretty good go at everything, but you're not an all-star at anything.
Yeah.
So it allows you to explore. You can do a little bit of passing, you can do some running and some handoff, you can even take a halfling hopeful and have a go at some throw teammate. You can really try out everything, and it's a great team to figure out what aspect of the game you love, and then maybe they're a good stepping stone team.
Yeah.
And I know you said you're going to use them the rest of this year. Absolutely. Hone your skills with them. Find out what you truly love from the game. There's not... I mean, be human coach forever if you want. But yeah, I think you've found a really good team there, to be fair. Yeah.
I think...
the only thing you need, Steve, is because you've won your game, you've lost a game, you've drawn a game, you've been to Warhammer, you've played Blood Bowl, you've played a few different teams. You just need a Best Painted award. That's what you need.
Oh, well, fortunately you talk about... Well, I say Best Painted. It was actually the favourite team award that I won.
Favourite team award?
Yes, like, So, yeah. I know. I not expected. You get... Obviously, you put your team into the case and people... It's voted by the players, I'm just saying. And my Biscuit Boys, my Shortbread Shanks, got the favourite team award. I didn't expect it, but yeah, I loved it. It was brilliant.
The concept was absolutely fantastic. They're just all biscuit-themed.
Yeah, so they've all got biscuits on the back, and they're all coloured in the packaging of the biscuits and stuff, and it's painted cell shaded, so it's just bulk colours. So by all means, not the best painted team out there. Like I'll be the first to say it. But I enjoyed them, and I enjoyed playing them, and I came back. To be honest with you, it's taken over a week to get down off the buzz, and I've even been hassling people to play Blood Bowl madly at every opportunity. We're literally in the middle of moving the shop Jedi Archives to a new place and stuff, and I need to be doing rip-outs and stuff like this, and I'm begging people to play me again with Blood Bowl before I rip walls down. It's that kind of way at the present moment. So yeah, it's Yeah, no, I had a wonderful time, and again, look, it's taken a year. It was a full year's journey from not playing Blood Bowl, and I've tried a couple of teams. I did Imperial Nobility. I've got I got my Orcs. I got my Woodies, and I did a human team. And now knowing the game and having played the game, and I think I learned more from playing against people and how they did certain things. That's how I've taken on their skills and been able to play. And I've still got a long journey to learn, but I definitely had the most enjoyable time playing. I scored 5 touchdowns in that tournament as well. So 3 games was 5 touchdowns. So it's a good, good score. No, sorry, six touchdowns. 6 touchdowns. Sorry, 6 touchdowns. It was 3, 2, and then 1. So it was a high scoring game as well, tournament for me. So yeah, I enjoyed it. It was good fun.
Very good. What about you, Gary? How'd you get on, mate?
I took Amazons, so I think this was my first time taking Amazons competitively to an AF tournament. So I've played them a few times just locally, and I really like them. They start with a lot of skills. There's a reason they're a tier 1 team, I'll tell you what I'd love to do is I'd love to try them in a league. I'm not a league fan. I don't really like league play, but I'd love to play them in league because they just start with so much. And they're a bit, they're a bit squidgy at Armour 8, or mainly Armour 8. But yeah, I did all right. I did 1-1, lost 1, and drew 1.
Oh, perfect. That's the perfect record.
Yeah, so nice and even. And I said to myself, my aims for 2025, and nice and low aims, is just try to win more than one. No, just try to end up in the top half of a tournament more than once. And I finished in the top half of the tournament. I didn't think a 1-1-1 would give me a top half, but clearly it did. I don't know why.
Yeah, it depends on all sorts of factors: touchdown difference, casualty difference, things like that. So there might have been other people on 1-1-1 that are in the lower half. You just had more points from other stuff that just edged you into that top half, I would imagine.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, so it was good. I really, really, really enjoyed Skaven Amazons, and I took. I think for the first time, I've normally spammed block on my Amazon positionals, but this time I took 4 block and 2 guard. I put guard on my strength 4s, so guard and defensive is just lovely.
Oh god,
It's
yeah,
really, really nice.
yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, I had a really good one, and I'm looking forward to, and I've got loads. I think I counted up. I've got 10 tournaments between now and the home nations at the beginning of July.
Bloody hell!
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've gone a bit mad.
Oh man.
The NAFs, I've got the NAFs, then one the week afterwards, and then another one the week after that. So I've got 3 weekends in a row there.
Wow.
How do you get the hall passes for that? Like, what do you do? Like,
my wife is an absolute angel. Genuinely, I don't even know how she puts up with me. Let alone It's probably because she much prefers me to not be in the house rather than be in the house. I don't know, but she's brilliant. Yeah, we're definitely very lucky, Baz, me and you. I've not heard anything about your Mrs. Steve, so I don't know. She's obviously very lucky.
No, she's spot on. But I've got 4 kids, so I don't get as many weekends away. I'll get one a month. I will. So I've got to.
Yeah, mine are almost grown up. So
yeah.
My youngest is 13 these days.
No. My youngest is 3. I mean, I drove up today and drove back that night morning. I didn't stay. Like, straight up. 4 hours up, 4 hours back, Baz. It's basically 24 hours, I think it was, by the time.
That's dedication. How did you get on, Baz? I can't remember if you said. I know you said it was you didn't have a good run, but you didn't do. Is it 2 wins and 2 losses and a win?
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I settled on. I took vampires, and I'm still not sure whether the events of the day makes the record more or less frustrating, because the recurring theme of 2024 were that my dice were terrible, and they were. You know, while I were in it, I did kind of feel like, God, I'm constantly bitching about my dice. I bet people are fed up hearing it. But looking back, they were awful. I'm over it now. Like, you know, it happened, blah, 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 whatever. But it did happen. They were terrible. But went into Bugman's Belter, and my dice were all right. I was playing vampires, a team with a built-in self-implode button, and Bloodlust was all right. It behaved for 80% of the day. I think there were only 3 occasions across 3 games where I removed one of my own players because of a failed Bloodlust, which is not bad at all.
Not for all day. No.
Yeah, the issue was that my dice were fine, not just with Bloodlust in a lot of aspects. You know, dodgers, whatever. Everything was absolutely fine. It's just that my opponent's dice were better where it mattered most. And it happened recurringly through the weekend, or through the day, sorry. But the best example to give you to just how effective my opponent's dice were is in my first game. On 2 occasions in that game, I had a runner in the end zone and a thrower within range to throw to him to score. At a -1, so not a quick pass, a short pass. Yep. Bear in mind it's a 2+ with the pass skill, so it'd be a 3+ with a pass skill because the -1. Passed it, and obviously then the only thing to do is a 2+ catch with the 2+ agility of the runners, and with plenty of rerolls left. So, you know, nothing is dead certain in Blood Bowl, but it's as good as done.
You were odds on.
Yeah, because I'd passed the
throw and the catch.
I'd passed the pass. The pass were done, successful. On 2 occasions in one game, he rolled to interfere and rolled a 6 to interfere. That's what I mean about.
See, I was thought you were going to say then that you got 2 1s to catch, but
no,
the fact that his dice were on fire, you can't do anything about it.
My dice were fine. My dice were absolutely fine. Nothing wrong with them at all.
I will say,
but my opponents were better when they needed to be and just shut down. Because that game ended, I think he won 2-1. So if he'd have not rolled a 6 on them 2 occasions, I'd have probably won 3-2. So,
poo.
Fucking crap.
I will say that the Nomad dice that you got, though, I mean, They do roll. They do roll well. They do.
Do they?
Oh, they do indeed. I went through a couple sets of dice and then I was just stuck on the black nomad dice and that was it for the rest of the tournament. Just black nomad dice all the way, and they were in my favour a lot.
A few nomad dice now, haven't we? It's lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have indeed. We've done quite a lot. 4 sets, 3 sets. Yeah, black ones, red ones, purple ones.
Yeah.
So that's 3. Yeah. And everybody loves them. Everyone says, that I mean, fucking Ash is insane. I think of every single run we've done, he's bought about 12 dice.
Jesus.
Yeah, he's bought like 36 dice.
And didn't him and Gaz did all right, didn't they?
Oh yeah.
Obviously, your mate came 5th. Gaz came 2nd.
Yeah.
Yes, Biscuit.
Gaz got runner up.
Biscuit Gaz.
Biscuit Gaz.
So now he is eternally fucking doomed.
Yeah.
Bless him.
He wasn't even
because that was the big.
Yeah. He wasn't.
Go on.
He wasn't going to be there, wasn't he? So like.
Yeah. So it serves him right now for saying he weren't going to come, and now he's cursed because he's got the cursed chalice. The coming second at Bugman's last year was genuinely off a cliff after that for me. So I hope it fucking happens to him.
Come join the Nomads. We're caring
and
loving. We care for everyone. Join the Nomads. Like, we really want you to do well.
Can anybody tell me? I've got a quick question about Bugman's.
Right.
Can anybody tell me precisely how many Khorne teams there were?
Yeah, I can.
In attendance, Gary, you answered first. You press your buzzer first. Yeah. How many were there?
Beep.
Yes, we're through to Gary. Yeah. How many? What's your answer?
Devon, Clark Devon. There was 2 teams. There were 2 Khorne teams out of 70 odd people.
You are absolutely correct, Gary. That is the correct. Let's check our board. He says 2. Bing! It's the top answer. It's the top answer. There absolutely was 2 Khorne teams. There was one that had no star players and just the skills and stuff. And then there was the second one where they'd taken the Bloodseeker or Bloodspawn and then the star player version of the Bloodspawn. I'm going to do a follow-up question, but I'm going to open up your buzzers again. Right? Get hands on buzzers. In a 3-game tournament, how many of those Khorne teams do you think that I got paired with?
3 of them. No.
We've got Steve down from Bournemouth. Steve, what is your answer, Steve?
2. All two of the teams.
You're absolutely fucking correct. How fucking ridiculous is that? That needs sorting. I shouldn't have to play against 2 fucking Khorne teams in one day.
I do apologise, listeners. I know we've moved on from Baz moaning about his shit dice to him moaning about playing Khorne team repeatedly. But we will find him something else to moan about for the next episode. You can be sure of it.
Absolutely ridiculous. 2. Only 2. And I got him first and second game. Coincidentally, the only game that I didn't play him, I fucking won. So I'm now convinced, I don't care if anyone tells me I'm being deluded, that if I hadn't played Khorne in them first 2, I'd have gone 3 wins all day.
Yeah.
So fuck you and fuck your Khorne. I'm done now.
Do you need a hug, mate? Are you all right?
I'm done. I've finished whinging. They were really nice guys.
We've got you. We've got you.
But fuck them and the team, despite how nice they were.
How much do you reckon we do this just because, like, it's a bit of therapy for each of us?
Therapy? He just fucking digs it all up for me.
Baz is the kind who puts it in a box and buries it and forgets it, and every time he brings it up, it's just worse and worse. Like,
fucking too right. When Biscuit Gaz put in Nomads the other day, we're like, "Oh, I haven't posted the stats for Bugman's Belt or for Nomads yet," and I went, "Yeah, please fucking don't." From Fullbeard Cup, when Warhammer World emailed out like, "Can we have everyone's details again? Because we've had some issues uploading the results to the NAF." I didn't fucking add mine.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Did I fuck?
No way, I didn't. I was dead last. I wasn't having that.
Fuck that. I fucking ghost. I put it in my fucking bin in my emails, mate. That I went back. Fuck that. Slide it straight into the bin. Absolutely not. It's like it never happened. Done.
I've had an email from Warhammer World asking if you guys could just let me have your details for that day.
Absolutely not. Do you know what? I'm gonna make a new NAF account, mate, and start like fucking just going under a pseudonym, because I'm sure there's got to be some fucking conspiracy here. There's got to be.
He's on to us, Gary.
He's
on to us, Gary. He's on to us.
I'm gonna create a new NAF name, like, I don't know, something like fucking Wealthy Big Penis or something. And you watch, I'll be fucking topper every fucking tournament in the country, because it's my NAF account. Listen, the root of this story is that I want something to fucking blame.
Yeah, for those of you who are interested in getting into Blood Bowl,
Don't.
you've got to be a particular type of idiot to like Blood Bowl.
Oh, I hate it. It's honestly the fucking worst thing I've ever done in my life, Blood Bowl. Genuinely. I mean that. I do, I mean it. It's fucking awful.
On the All or Nuffle podcast. Baz from
listen, it's 2.5 years away, but I fucking guarantee at fucking World Cup my missus will get a message from me saying I'm not fucking doing this anymore. She gets one at every tournament.
I'm not going back on second day. That's it. I've had enough.
She honest, I'm telling. I left the house for Bugman's Belter not last Sunday, the Sunday before, right? And as I left the house, my missus said, "Shall I expect a message from you a little bit later saying that you're quitting Blood Bowl and never want to play again?" And I didn't get offended. I went, "Absolutely, you can." It's every tournament I'll message you being like, "I'm fucking sick of paying this much for tickets, pay this fuel, and just getting shagged to death by my own dice." And every time she's just like, "Oh yeah, you do you," and I'm like, "No, I want you to agree with me that it's fucking crap."
Do we need to move on? Do we reckon? Or are we all good?
No, I'm good.
No, I'm good.
Fine, Gary.
No, I'm right.
I honestly, I do absolutely fucking hate it. I hate this game so much. It's fucking awful. It's the worst game.
I don't know what to say to you.
I love it.
Because you know it's true.
I love it.
No, you don't. You don't.
I do.
I do.
You don't.
I do.
It's fucking awful
these days.
It's awful. It is the worst game ever, but I fucking love it. I'm done having a bitch now. We can move on. I'm done.
Do we need to call someone for you? It's like an abusive relationship here. Like, you know.
Yeah. Do you know what? You're absolutely fucking right. It is an abusive relationship because I'm getting fucking abused by Blood Bowl. So fuck Games Workshop.
You don't spend enough time praying to Nuffle, do you?
Clearly not. Because somebody's getting Nuffle a fucking reach around and getting better treatment than me, because I'm getting fuck all.
I used to have 17 kids. I've sacrificed all but a few of them now.
Steve said earlier he's got 4. He used to have 14.
Yeah, no, I did.
That's how you guys win.
It was worth it.
Oh, dear. 100%. Fuck them.
So, what's up next then, Bazza?
I don't know what else I've got to talk about. I'm a bit red. I've got a bit of a red curtain. I can't.
Do we
really
want to go
think
through
straight.
what everyone's got planned for the year, or do we want to talk about the Nomadic Cup? Or
we can talk about the. Yeah, we can talk about the Nomadic Cup. So,
he fucking hates it.
I would love to be able to. Yeah, do you know what? Fuck it. I'm cancelling the fucker.
I've taken your money. I'm fucking running.
this episode is going to do compared to other episodes on the old listening stats?
Absolutely no idea, because our most listened to episode is the one where me and you talked about fucking percentage chances on dice for 3 hours. Fucking weirdos, grow up.
The most boring topic out of everything that we've ever talked about. We like to keep it very, very lighthearted and mess about, don't we? And we got a bit serious on one, and it was the most ever listened by a long way, wasn't it?
Yeah, because by
300.
I have it on loop every time we go to bed. only thing that gets me to sleep.
Everyone's been using it as their sleep intake.
Oh man. To be fair, I'll be honest. I listened to it and I actually enjoyed it, and it was one of those ones that I was hooked the whole time listening to it. So
maybe we need to revisit that, Baz. We keep saying it, but I don't know if I can bring myself to.
It's fucking boring, isn't it? It is. I'm sorry. It is. It's boring.
Well, we may well do something. We had some content, aren't we? If we're going to do this fortnightly.
We did one episode where, because the general theme of All or Nothing from Day Dot has been, I'm not going to name any, but we don't want to be like the other Blood Bowl podcasts that treat it like they are doing the fucking FA Cup draw, like where it's super serious and it's really like analytical and stuff. And if people love that, that's absolutely fine. Everybody likes different things. But it's the one episode where we said, you know what, let's be a little bit like that. And I fucking hated it. But it's the most listened to episode we've ever fucking done. So clearly, everybody else is doing something right, and we're like, nah, we're not doing that.
There's a reason why everybody else is more popular than us.
Yep. Yeah, well, fuck them and all.
I tell you what, like the snippets that you got to take out of this is just you saying "fuck Blood Bowl," "fuck them all," and fuck.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine, and I'm not even going to bleep it. It's going straight on Instagram.
You've got to get some, you've got to get some reels and some TikToks out of some of this footage. You can edit them up, Steve.
Fucking hell, man.
So yeah, I'd love to be able to tell people that they can hear about this event now and get a ticket, but it's actually sold out. I am accepting reserves, but there's already like 6 people on there. Some have paid. But yeah, the Nomadic Cup in 14th of June this year, 3 games, 1 day, in the village that I grew up in, and the amount of people that have been willing to travel ridiculous distances, yourself included, Gary, considering I went to yours, remember?
He's going.
We got Harry, I think Harry's from Portsmouth.
Yeah.
And some of the other guys from there. Somebody coming from, get this, somebody's coming from fucking Dumfries.
Fantastic.
Insane. Absolutely insane.
Fantastic.
So yeah,
local lads as well, haven't you? From your game club? No? I thought you had a few.
I've got a few, but the overwhelming majority are people travelling 100 plus miles to attend from Nomads.
Fantastic. Brilliant.
It's what you want, though. It's what you want. I mean, obviously, you would love the locals.
Yeah,
but,
absolutely.
it's nice to have the Nomads play. There is something, though, when you play a Nomad compared to anyone else that you play in the tournament. I definitely, I played 2 Nomads I did at the Bugmans, and any time I play a Nomad, it's just, I don't know, I get a different vibe, but it's just a nicer vibe, because as much as you want to play, and to play to win and stuff like this, it's still enjoyable. More enjoyable. More enjoyable.
I think what it is if you're across from somebody who's got a Nomads hoodie or a Nomads slam mat or Nomads dice, or just that they're a Nomad, that they are subscribed to the mentality of what the WhatsApp community is, that we're super relaxed, everyone's really friendly,
window lickers,
and all that business. So You can say that, maybe.
But no,
you can say that.
No, but
it's like there's always that moment in a game against a stranger where you have to try and gauge, read your opponent, see what sort of person you're going to be dealing with for 3 hours. But if it's a Nomad, you know that they're involved in that community for the same reasons you are, so you already expect a certain level of that this person's going to be sound. So I think that's what it is, because I've had that experience again. I played you, obviously, at Full Beard Cup. I played Tom at Full Beard Cup. I think that's just like you already have a read on that person just by seeing Nomad's logo somewhere or knowing that they're a member.
So it'd be interesting, what I was saying there, it'd be interesting to see what the Nomadic Cup's about. I think it's going to be a really good laugh, because it's going to be a room majority filled with that type of character run by the Nomads with Nomads. I think it sounds like it's going to be good fun.
Yeah, I think so. So there's 30 spaces, and I think there are only 6 that aren't Nomads.
Wow,
nice.
That's awesome.
I think six or seven. I know that just over 2/3 is Nomads.
Cool.
They're paying double
That's
ticket price, right?
which
Yeah,
is great.
They're paying double ticket price, right?
No, you are. You will be when you fucking when you said to me, "Oh, I want to." You're not coming, are you, Steve?
No, I didn't say. To be fair, when you said it, and I was just because it's in June, because I'm doing my thing with 40k in June. I was just like, I'm not going to get the time for that, you know, because yours is the beginning. Because when you said the day, I'm mid-June.
See. Anybody else would have just said, you know what, fuck that 40k thing, Baz, I'm there.
To be fair,
but this fucker,
to be fair,
this fucker,
off the back of Bugman's and the amount I want to play my human team, like I am feeling it, and I was there. Like, is there any way?
Steve, let's just drive towards each other and meet halfway. Let's do it.
We'll do it. Like, you know, so I look. I'll be up for it. I've just got to get. I got to get the hall pass to do. So God knows what I got to do.
You just say you're going to work and then don't bother.
No, listen. Hey, listen. No. Don't backtrack now, Steve. If you want to go and fucking play with smelly, sweaty 40k players, you do what you like. You do you, mate.
I mean, I thought I was getting smelly players when I started the Blood Bowl. Like, you know, I just. I've got an itch to scratch, all right?
There is absolutely no way on this earth that I will hold it against you.
You know, Steve's local 40k club is it's the Norwegian female volleyball team that are set up locally. They're all playing 40k. They're well into it.
So into it.
You're being a bit judgmental there.
No.
Yeah, I do apologise. Understood.
They always have the heating up really hot, so like it's less clothing.
That's why they're smelly.
It smells like a tin of sardines at the end of the day. No, I'm sorry.
Oh dear.
I'm sorry. I'll
Other Scandinavian volleyball teams are available.
No.
Oh dear.
No. I think you're gonna have it's something I look forward to hearing about and see how it goes. No matter.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I'm kind of like just fucking waiting for June now. Everything's sorted.
So I announced mine, didn't I? The dates for ours, and we penciled it in, and we thought we'd get the Battleman's Bash out of the way, and ours is the weekend after yours, and we've only just started selling tickets yesterday, and yours is done. I've got one day and just gone. You know what? Boom, 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 boom. I'm done.
I've got full price support. Tour play is set up. It's sold out. I'm literally just sat waiting for June now. The only thing I've got to start is Third Space / Jedi Archives have very kindly offered to sort us out with some Blood Bowl teams for prizes. They are the only prizes that I'm missing. Everything else is sorted. I've got Doc Miniature, Charlie Victor. Fucking hell, who else have I got? Rulebook tabs. A gentleman actually contacted me on Instagram like 2 days ago. Does what the fuck is it called? Grimdark Gifts or whatever. He's got some Blood Bowl merch on his website, some like shirts that say, you know, Got Dodge or whatever. And he's given me 4 vouchers that I can give as spot prizes. He says I want them to be for the first 4 people that roll double or triple skulls. And you give them that, and they can get a free T-shirt off our website.
That's brilliant.
That's good.
But yeah, I've got custom dice sorted. Everything's sorted.
I know we're not affiliated, right, to any of these companies at all. We don't get anything, you know, from them, right? But there's some brilliant companies out there that support like tournament organisers, aren't there? Like you've named a few. Obviously, Blackhawk Down's in there, and Hearthforge Games, and there's a few people making counters and bases and a whole bunch of things. There's just so many really, really cool companies that support, and I know they either give or heavily discount what they're doing, and it's just brilliant that they support, you know, the blood.
Doc Miniatures, from my personal experience, is by far the best, though.
I just had a thought. Yeah, Doc Miniatures are brilliant. You know, the fact that they give you a free option and a paid option.
Yeah, but the paid option, I'm not going to say how much it is because I don't know if that's like, you know, something that he advertises publicly, but you get about, I think if you were to buy everything that he sends as part of the tournament pack separately, I think you're probably looking at 80 quid.
Yeah.
70, 80
Got to be
quid.
at least. Got to be. We did
And
it
he
for
gives
hours,
you
didn't we?
it gives it you for more than half price.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say how much. Like I say, I don't know if that's knowledge that he likes to share, but absolutely phenomenal. Really good.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I tell you one thing that I did do, which you're not doing for yours, and I don't know if it's because I said don't bother, but I've got one here. Blood Bowl organised play pack.
Oh yeah. You mean the box that is crap for anything other than the dice?
Yeah, I just wouldn't bother. Again, I won't say the price, but significantly more. You know, more than twice as much as the Dot Miniature at one, and you do get eight lots of those dice, and they do go for a lot of money. But yeah, it was just overkill. It was overkill. It was a lot of money. Best part of £100 to come out of your profits. And all of the rest of it was going to charity. So it was money that we could have given to charity, and I don't think anybody needed those dice. And I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not, I'm apologies if nobody did, but I wouldn't be surprised if some of those people put them on, eBay and have just sold them anyway.
They'd be stupid. They'd be stupid not to. They're going for 50, 60, 70 quid.
For a set of dice.
Yeah.
It's just bonkers. You'd be better off Jedi Archives could do it. You'd be better off just getting an organised play box and doing a tournament.
Well,
and
I was going to say to you actually, because we're doing the whole fit out. So Jedi Archives we're moving, we're relocating. So from where the store is, we're actually moving over to it's in offices. It is basically, but it's 2 floors we're going over, and we're going to have 18 tables in there, all in.
Nice.
And one thing that is going to come from it, and I was going to speak to you guys first, or speak to the people listening. I need someone who's going to set a tournament up down there, to help us set a tournament up.
And where are you based?
We're in Dorchester, down in Dorset. So we want to set tournaments up, or try and get biannual tournaments down there. So we're at the present moment doing the refit and the fit out and stuff, and it's all in conversations because we're trying to get a few tournaments and stuff. But Blood Bowl is one that I want to happen. I would not pretend to try and run a tournament myself. I wouldn't have a freaking clue when it comes down to the bare bones of it and stuff like this. But it's getting people interested who want to do it, or if there's anyone listening, or if you guys are interested, or anyone else is interested. Because
so there's a really, really good. I say a really good. I'm obviously biased, but there's the Southwest and the Southeast guys. So for those people that know the Blood Bowl tournament scene, there's a guy called Stu Backer who does the Southeast Series tournament, and Nazgob is the guy who does the Southwest one. And I think they banged their heads together and said, you know what, we really could do a lot more with this. And actually, I'm sure there's other people that regionally are doing stuff. So what they've done is they've pulled all of the different regions together, not all of them, but most of them, and they've put them on a website. And they've got a really, really good job of listing all of the different things. And there's a series, and if you go to different series and different regions, you get points for those. And there's a map as well that shows you where all the different tournaments are.
Nice.
And the reason why I was going to say that was that the Southwest region, Dorchester's pretty much right smack bang in the middle of the region, because it goes as far down as sort of Bournemouth way, all the way across to Plymouth way, and all the way up to Cheltenham. Mm-hmm. So I think somewhere like Reading is in the southeast. So that's sort of like the border. Swindon's in the southwest. But nice. Dorchester is fairly central. So looking at the map now, so I think you could quite easily set up a tournament. You say 18 tables.
At the present moment, we're looking at 18, but this is 18 6x4s. So
Oh mate, 18 6x4. You get 3 games on there.
Yeah. So if you were going to do a NAF tournament, as long as you've got a minimum of 24 players in a 1-day 3-game tournament, then you can actually get a NAF trophy for the winner.
Oh, nice.
So you can get it NAF approved, and you get it in the Southwest tournament series, and there's a whole bunch of sponsorship. I've joined this Southwest tournament organisers group, and anybody else who's interested in organising tournaments anywhere in the country, get in touch with other people that are organising it. There's a group of really knowledgeable people that have done this, for many, many years.
Well,
are so willing to support people to run tournaments as well as attend them.
Well, I will be getting into that later, and I won't segue this anymore on setting up a tournament. But yeah, I'll get into it later. I can't run a tournament myself, but because a year in, the last thing, anyone else going like, I don't want you grasshopper telling me what to do in this scene, but I want someone to. It's an opportunity for anyone who wants to run a tournament. We've got the venue, and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I'll have a chat with you later about that, Gary. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, Nomadic Cup is in the Yorkshire series that is also on Nazgob's website. Thanks to Gary, you pointed me in that direction, mate. It's in there. So that actually did. I think we had like 18 nomads, and then I put it onto I applied to have it onto the series, and then that's where like the 7 or 8 people who aren't nomads came from when it went on there. So it is appeal to a series. Definitely, yeah. It definitely gets people interested.
Yeah, and it works both ways. It might be not just for TOs, but for people who are interested in attending tournaments. Joining something like Nomads is great for meeting up with people in your local area that go to tournaments or that travel. But also, if Nomads isn't your thing, that's absolutely great. But just go on the website and have a look. Reach out to people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Am I allowed to plug mine or not?
Your what?
My tournament on the 21st.
Yeah. Absolutely not.
So we only started selling tickets yesterday, but we've got a 2-dayer in Exeter. Cream Tea Cup. There will be cream tea shenanigans, I reckon. And we've written down for 60 people, but we could probably hold up to 100. So NAF rules are pending, and we're part of the Southwest tournament. So yeah, if anybody in the Exeter area is up for a 2-dayer,
what date?
Come and see us. 21st, 22nd, Saturday, Sunday,
nice.
of June.
I would like to go.
Yeah, where the fuck have we heard this before? Fucking hell. Yeah, I'll come. Yeah, count me in.
I mean,
3 days before. 3 days before. Oh, listen, you're not going to have... Oh, yeah, all right.
I mean, redundancy's a thing, but
Yeah, so is lack of commitment, Steve.
I'm not that much of a flake, so I normally put my name down for stuff, but yeah, unfortunately life got in the way. But yeah, I will look at it, but it's in June as well, so
yeah, it's not a problem.
It's also worth mentioning as well that fellow nomad Tom is also running a... We're not doing a Nomad series. Although I would absolutely love for there to be different variations of a Nomadic Cup up and down the country, and people can move around as and when they do or don't like, and be ranked across them all. That's a really great idea. But I'm just going to give the honest answer that I gave in Nomads yesterday. I can't be asked. I can't be asked in facilitating
It's a big commitment to organise and facilitate all of that.
But
absolutely. But Tom, bless him, he's running a... I don't know what the name... I know that Nomadic Cup is somewhere in the name, but it's going to be themed around the shop he's hosting it or something like that. He's doing a Nomad event. It's going to have exclusive Nomad dice specific to that event. Mm-hmm. Nomads won't just be able to buy them from being in Nomads. You have to attend that event to get them.
Nice.
Plenty of prize support from Nomads as well. We've got a little bit of a kitty built up now from selling some dice, so we're going to be getting some nice prizes and stuff. I won't be there because it's my birthday weekend. Just dates have fallen funny. It's the 15th of November.
Nice. I'll be there.
2 days.
Yeah,
I'll be there. Southeast, isn't it?
Yeah, two days before my birthday, and that's probably it'll be the Monday that I'm at work for actual birthday.
Is it the west side of London somewhere? Do you know?
I thought it was east side.
Is it really?
He's from Essex, isn't he, Tom?
Oh, right, okay.
I'm pretty sure he is.
Might be a bit too far for me.
Oh, just meet me halfway. I'll take you the rest of the way.
I'll just come to yours. Yeah, I'll just come to yours.
Come to mine. You can meet the wife.
Yeah, fucking Steve's missus just comes back from answering the door and says, "There's a very strange man at the door, Steve."
The first thing he says, she isn't as fat as she said she was.
So, for context, for those that don't know, oh,
what a fucking dick! What a dick!
Wasn't my finest hour, right? So I have a habit of being a bit of an idiot and opening this before I think, and a lot of the time when I meet people for the first time, and people introduce me, I say that they're not as fat and ugly as as you said they were, and the face on the person receiving that comment is either one of "Yay, I've met my fellow, I've found my level," or of disgust. And normally it works, but sometimes it doesn't. Yeah. And you guys were there when I used it last time.
Yeah.
Luckily, I think I got away with it. He's still talking to me, so.
No, you got away with it. You got away with it. 100%. You got away with it. It cost me a lot of money, but you got away with it. So yeah, cool. No, I've got nothing else to say.
I'll tell you something we did talk about on the Nuffles Nomads was the Euros has raised its head recently, hasn't it? There's a few people going, I wonder if we should do, because the Euros, the Euro Cup and the Euro Open, I think the first round, so for the national teams and their Open team has already sold, but then there's the next round of just everybody else can get Open tickets. That's coming up in the next few days' time. 22nd, is it?
I think so, yeah.
So, that's. I don't know if anybody else is planning. Any of the listeners are planning on going to the Euro. There's a lot of sad people about the rules, isn't there? They don't really like some of the rules.
Yeah, do you know what? I don't think it's so much people not liking the rules, but I didn't see this myself. It's just what I've been told, so it could be wrong. So, take it with a pinch of salt. But apparently when the organisers were not called out, but when they were given feedback about how some of the rules had put people off or, made people feel about the rule pack, in not so many words said, well, fuck you, it's our tournament.
Which they've got every right to do.
And I get that, but you're putting the tournament on for other people, so you don't have to bend and bow to it, but you kind of have to take note of it to a certain degree.
What was the the big problem with it was a maximum of 4 skills, wasn't it? But the problem is that if you've already got, in your 11 players, if you've already got those skills, so for example, goblins can't have dodge. You've already got 4 in your starting roster for dodge, so you can't have any more. So you can't add 4 more dodge.
It's very bizarre. Yeah, inherent skills, as in skills that your players have out of the box, should not hold any weight against what extra skills you're able to take. That's just my opinion, but that just feels silly.
Yeah, but I mean that literally is the balance, isn't it? That's why they are tiered as they are. Obviously, the strength of everything else and the skills they are. That is again coming from a fairly green background to it. That's literally how I understand how a team is tiered. So to me that's stupid.
You and me both. And not only that, and this is not meant to be rude or anything, but I've no interest in visiting Hungary.
Right.
I'm sure it's a lovely place, just not somewhere I'm that excited to visit. So there's not much allure to be like.
I've always wanted to go to Budapest, but the problem is I'm going for a Blood Bowl tournament if I do go, and not going with the missus because we love a city break. So I'm not really going to get to see much of Budapest, to be fair, I don't think.
So are you going then?
I want to, and I've got a pass.
Yeah.
And I'm just waiting to see if we can find our 4th member. So we shall see.
Very good. Very good.
And we were talking, weren't we, just before the? I know I'm dragging this out, and we can maybe do it on the next pod. But we were talking beforehand about how there is such a big variance between rule sets and tiering and the meta generally, and the fact that where do you go to find out what really is true meta? Well, depends on what your rule set is, because you can only match it against what your rule set is, and all of those. It's a huge topic. Huge topic.
Absolutely.
And the reason we started talking about it was because we were talking about orcs, weren't we? And where do they sit?
Yeah.
Where do they really sit? Are they a tier 1, tier 2 in 3 teams? Or in 4 tiers, or 4 or 5 tiers? Are they still a tier 1 or tier 2? Tier 3?
I mean, it's a matter of opinion, but for me, in both a tier 3 and 4, they are the two. The two. Just my opinion.
1, don't they?
Yeah, a lot of people think 1, but I personally think that they are 2. Like you made the very good point, Gary, that they were put in a box with humans, a start collecting box or whatever, or a starter box. So if humans are tier 2, surely to Christ they have to have been balanced against a team of a similar tier. So for me, the tier 2. People will disagree.
The thing for me, if you think about tier 4 or 5, right, with the extra tiers, in 3 tiers, if you had a tier 2 orc and a tier 2 human team, the people, I think, in all of the people that would take teams, I think you'd have a lot more people gravitating towards orcs in tier 2. Whereas if you made, in that same scenario with 3 tiers, if you made orcs tier 1, I think you'd have a lot more people gravitating towards humans than orcs. If it was an either or.
I agree. And I think that
therefore makes them a 1.5, I think. So if you've got 5 tiers, then they're a tier 2, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. In a 3-tier system, they absolutely float in between tier 1 and 2, which is why I think that 3 isn't ideal for most tournaments. When you get to 4, I think they stay at 2, because I think going from 3 to 4 tiers exists only to separate the tier 3 into the decent tier 3 teams and the ones that really struggle. So after that, when you go to 5, that then facilitates breaking up your tier 2 teams into 1.5s and true tier 2s. I know that sounds really confusing. But the jump from 3 to 4 is to split up tier 3 teams into 2 tiers. And then from 4 to 5 is to split your tier 2 into not quite tier 1, not quite tier 2, and have that 1.5 tier, so to speak. Which orcs, if you've got one in between a true tier 1 and tier 2, that's 1,000% where orcs belong. In my opinion,
to be discussed, anyway. I reckon.
Yeah, definitely. And I tell you what, I were meant to do today. Harry sent me. He wants to do a segment on the podcast where he sends me a voice note of a dad joke for every podcast, but I can't do it because my laptop's broken, so I'm having to use my phone for Riverside, so I can't play you the voice note while I'm on Riverside on my phone.
Did you listen to the joke?
Did
you listen to the joke?
No, I was keeping it as a surprise.
Oh, so that you weren't actually going to get to... No, so we're not going to get to hear it.
So... No, until my laptop's fixed and I can use Riverside on the laptop and then play it on my phone, I'm afraid we're just going to have to build up a backlog and maybe have a full episode of just listening to his dad joke.
I do feel like I might have to get the union in, though, because I thought dad jokes was my thing.
Did you say... I'll tell you what, then give us a dad joke, Gaz. In fact, you give us one, Gaz, and I'll give one. I've got one.
Have you got one, have you?
Yeah. I think I've told you before. Do you want me to do mine while you think?
Yeah.
We'll close out with this joke then. It's a long-winded one.
Oh.
And Gaz, I'm sure you've heard it before. I'm sure I've told you. But I fucking love it. Right, so there's a barman. He's working behind bar, the typical wiping the side with a cloth and cleaning glasses out and stuff. And one day, a human-sized duck walks into his pub.
Yeah.
And the duck walks up to the bar and says, "Can I have a pint of Foster's and a sandwich, please?" And the barman's all shocked, like, yeah, of course you can. And side-eyeing him while he prepares his pint and gets him his sandwich. And the duck takes his sandwich and his pint and sits at a table not too far away from the bar, opens up a paper, sat reading paper, and the barman says, I what you doing here? He says, oh, I'm a plasterer. I'm working at House over at Road. And obviously, barman's thinking, like, clearly I weren't fucking asking that. I were asking what the fuck you are. But, don't want to be impolite, so he leaves him to his business. And every day he comes in for the second day, and he's building up the courage to ask him more questions about, what the fuck's going on. A talking anthropomorphic duck is in my pub. And then one day, the duck is in, reading his paper, eating his sandwich, drinking his Fosters, and somebody comes in and puts up a poster on the notice board in pub for the local circus. And he says to Duck, he said, oh, mate, you're not going to fucking believe this. Fucking circus has just rolled into town. You'd be absolutely perfect for that. And Duck says, what do you mean? He said, circus, like, it's just rolled into town, like it's a match made in heaven. And Duck looks at him and says, what the fuck would a circus want with a plasterer?
Fuck's sake.
I told you all along, but it's fucking brilliant. Gary, didn't you once tell me one about some guy driving to a wedding and losing some bolts off his? You tell. Come on, we'll close out with that because this one's fucking brilliant.
Really?
Yeah, genuinely, I love it.
Right, okay. So there's this chap. He's off to a wedding in the middle of the countryside. Let's just say he's going off into deepest, darkest Yorkshire for his mate's wedding. And unfortunately, he's a bit behind time. He's got out into the countryside and he decides to take a bit of a shortcut because the sat nav says like you can save a bit of time if you go this way. So he goes up down these lanes and before he knows it, he's got a flat tire and he pulls up in this little. It's not a lay-by, but you get these turning, passing places in lanes. He pulls up in one of those and he gets out and has a look at it. It's like, flat tire. What am I going to do? I've got, I'm half an hour away from the wedding. I have probably got 25-minute drive. I was on the minutes anyway. What on earth am I going to do? I really need just to sort this out. And he's thinking, right, okay, I'm just going to crack on with it. So he pulls the hubcap off, he puts it down, jacks the car up, takes the nuts off, throws them into the hubcap, takes the wheel off, goes around, gets the other wheel, and as he's walking around the thing, he kicks the hubcap, and the four nuts go rolling down the road, and he just sees them go pop, 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 pop into a grate. He's just like, you are having a laugh. What on earth am I going to do now? That's it. I'm absolutely stuffed. My best mate is going to absolutely kill me. And this black horse pops his head over a hedge, and he says to him, he said, if you just take one nut off each of the other three wheels and put that back on and then drive down into the village, there's a garage that's open at the moment, and he'll have 4 spare nuts. And the man looks at this black horse and he's like, really? That's genius. Why didn't I think of that? So he cracks on, he says thank you to the horse, says goodbye, drives down into the village, and he's just like absolutely gobsmacked. The village is on the way to the wedding. He's back on track. He just needs these nuts. He doesn't really even need them, but he goes into the garage anyway, and he says to the guy, he says, oh, mate, you're never going to guess what's just happened to me, right? I've had a puncher. I'm in a bit of a rush. I've knocked my wheel nuts down into the drain, and this blooming black horse has popped his head over the hedge, and he said to me, take a nut off, do that, come down to the garage, bish bosh bash, everyone's a winner. And he went, did you say it was a black horse? He said, yeah. He said, thank God for that. He said, the white horse doesn't know anything about cars.
Fuck's sake.
Oh well. I suspect Harry is going to be taking over dad jokes from now on.
Oh my God.
I have got a few more if you want them.
Oh, go on. We'll have one more before we. I've got one more.
So do you want? Oh, here we go. Steve.
Yeah.
What's the difference between a piano, a tin of tuna, and super glue?
I've literally no idea what the difference between all of them is.
You can tune a piano, but you can't piano a tuna.
What's the super glue got to do with it?
Well, that's the bit that most people get stuck on.
You fucking ass.
I'm so sorry, listeners.
Oh. Oh.
No.
Baz.
Oh. Oh.
Baz,
Fucking
what was a more
fantastic.
useful invention than the first telephone?
I don't know.
The second telephone.
Fuck. I was thinking that. Why did I fucking say it?
I've gone dizzy. Oh, dear.
Oh my god.
Oh.
My kids are gonna hate me tomorrow.
Oh God. Oh.
If you don't want us to do any more of these, just let us know.
We won't
It's not a
listen.
problem.
We won't listen.
Oh. Oh God.
I really want to know what Harry's joke sounds like now.
Well, no, we're gonna have to save it until we can listen to it live, because otherwise he'll be really upset.
Oh, okay.
And on that note, then, now we've got that out of the way.
Got it out of the way.
Thank you very much for listening. It's been a bit of a chaotic first episode back, but did you expect anything less? And if you did, don't bother listening again.
Fuck off with you and your Games Workshop. Just fuck off, the lot of you.
This is a dad jokes podcast now, and you'll fucking like it.
Every fucking fortnight.
Tune in 2 weeks' time for more dad jokes. Bye.
Oh, dear.
Oh, thank you very much for listening. Oh dear! Thank you very much for listening, everyone.
Right, we've got hundreds of people listening to this shit. What are they doing with their lives?
And it's about time they grew up.
Oh, God.
Oh dear! Right, thank you very much for listening, everyone. For giving up your time to listen to that. We are going to do our very best to be much better at fortnightly episodes. Now that we've got all the nonsense out of the way from not doing it for 8 weeks, we might actually be not a lot, a touch more serious, and talk a little bit more Blood Bowl and less shit. There'll still be some shit, just maybe a smaller measure. Until then, take care, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much for listening.
See you guys.